leaving behind the white building, which is called the Orangery. And that was supposed to be an orangery for the royal family. It still has the date of 1761 and Princess Augusta's royal coat of arms above the main facade. It wasn't very successful at growing citrus fruits, apparently. It was also designed by the architect William Chambers, who designed the first folly that we saw and the pagoda. And today it's one of our popular cafes. So King George III, he was very interested in agriculture, and he wrote agricultural reports, and he actually published them under a pseudonym. And he even got the nickname Farmer George in some of the pamphlets of the time, because he was often to be seen riding around Kew, chatting to the farmers about agriculture matters of the day. So right now the Great Boardwalk is a 320-metre long, double herbaceous bordered promenade with marvellous mirror planting, so each side is the same. We've got these triangular topiary yew bushes. Just off to the left there on the hill is the Hive, is that sort of aluminium mesh sculpture. It's a marvellous installation. It reminds us of the importance of bees, honeybees and other pollinators. And if you get up there, you can usually hear some ambient sounds and see some flashing lights. And these are actually derived from the real-time activity of the bees here at Kew, because it's connected via some clever electronic sensors. It's a very interesting installation. I would recommend visiting. Behind the Hive is one of the old lions, and the old lions are the trees that have been here ever since Princess Augusta's time. And there's one down there, you can just about make it out actually, down that winding path. It's called the pagoda tree. And it looks like it's being held up by a brick pier, it's so old. So the trees that remain from Princess Augusta's time, we call those the old lions. So this is a marvellous promenade here at Kew. It's possibly the longest of its kind in Europe, or even further beyond. And the colours vary throughout the spring and the summer. We've got the alliums out now, these lovely long stemmed plants with the purple flower, like a ball on the end, related to onions. And you can't quite make it out, but through the trees you might catch the odd glimpse just through the branches of the trees to the left. It's our Princess of Wales Conservatory. It's got a very low down roof, it's sort of tucked into the landscape there. The Princess of Wales Conservatory was opened in 1987. Formally opened by the late Diana, Princess of Wales, who planted a maple tree outside to commemorate the occasion. And it's named in honour of Princess Augusta, who was also Princess of Wales. And it's our most complex glass house. It has 10 different climatic zones. You'll find marvellous bromeliads in there, and you'll find orchids, you'll find carnivorous plants, and a marvellous collection of cacti as well. It's a wonderful collection, and on the other side of that conservatory there's many other gardens worth visiting, like the Agius Evolution Garden with some marvellous irises and many other flowers, and the Rock Garden. So right now we're just following the perimeter path around the Palm House Pond. So the marvellous Palm House over there faces our brasserie, which is called the Botanical, which you'll see on the other side of the pond, where you can get a marvellous cup of coffee. In front of the Botanical is a sculpture, Hercules wrestling the serpent, a present from Queen Elizabeth II. On the right is our smallest conservatory. That's the water lily pond, water lily house rather. It's not a pond, it's a house. It's full of water lilies. It does have a pond in it, actually. There's some pretty water lilies in there. So right now we're going to pass across the front facade of the wonderful farmhouse. Built between 1844 and 1848. It's a real living laboratory dedicated to the world's tropical regions. And you can see these alliums on the parterre. There's bees all over them. The bees absolutely love the allium. So they're marvellous for the pollinators and they look pretty stunning. This parterre was full of actual onions during the Second World War in the Dig for Britain campaign. The farmhouse is a real living laboratory. It's dedicated to the world's tropical regions. Many of the plants in there are endangered in the wild, sadly, but lots of others are still very valuable to societies for the fruits, the medicines they produce. You'll find oil palm, rubber, cocoa, pepper, mahogany, papaya, bananitos, many other recognisable products that you may not have seen the tree or the plant that they come from necessarily, but it's a wonderful collection. And our scientists at Kew, they rely on this collection to learn about sustainable cropping all over the world. The building was actually co-designed by an Irish shipbuilder, which is partly why it does resemble the upturned hull of a great ocean liner. And towards this end you'll find possibly the world's oldest pot plant, the Eastern Cape cycad. It's been in its pot over 300 years. And the species, the cycads themselves, have been around since the dinosaur times and even before that. Wonderful old species. So here we are, we're just approaching Victoria Plaza again. And if you've ever wondered about the chimney on the left, the large tower, it's the Campanile, so it resembles an Italianate bell tower. Many years ago, the farmhouse was actually heated by coal furnaces. So that acted as a very attractive chimney back in those days. So it still remains as one of our recognisable architectural landmarks. So from our driver, Andre, and myself, Peter, we would like to thank you all for joining us on the wonderful Kew Explorer at the rather beautiful Royal Botanic Gardens here at Kew. I hope you've had a lovely time, and we wish you a lovely rest of your afternoon here at the gardens. Thank you so much, and take care as you alight. Thank you.